Today, we will talk about a romantic movie released in 2009 titled Mariam. The story begins with a girl named Mariam, who is a teacher. One day, while she is teaching, she notices that one of the students is not paying attention. When he solves a problem incorrectly, she tells him it's wrong. He tries to correct his mistake, and she reminds him to pay attention again because math is an easy subject that just requires a bit of focus. After school, she heads home, but suddenly she gets into an accident and is hit by a car. Shortly after, the police arrive and ask her about what happened. When she sees the body of the person involved in the accident, she starts to panic, especially when she discovers that the body is that of a girl. The student who had solved the problem incorrectly keeps staring at the accident scene while Mariam is taken away. At the hospital, they tell her that she has minor fractures in her neck and reassure her that it wasn't her fault. However, she is concerned about the girl's family and what their reaction will be when they find out. The next day, they go searching for the house of the girl to avoid passing by the place where the accident happened, and she recalls the tragedy that occurred. After a short while, life returns to normal, and she tries to forget what happened by keeping herself busy. She returns to school after her break and asks the students to open their books. She starts writing difficult things without dictionaries. The student who doesn't know how to solve the problems keeps staring at her strangely. They later move to a new house, and the neighbors invite them over for lunch to get to know them better. There, they discover that the neighbors are related to the girl who died, and Mariam is shocked to see that the boy doesn't greet her. His father works as a doctor, and his mother works as his assistant in the exam area. He takes the exam from her and tells her that time is up, while his mother tries to convince him to focus on his studies. But he ignores her and leaves to go to the pool, where we see Mariam swimming. At school, the teachers gather and tell him that he needs to study or he will fail. Mariam offers to give him private lessons and starts going to his house to tutor him. However, he doesn't pay attention to her, and she continues explaining without any benefit. When she asks him to bring her water, he ignores her and leaves. Later, she goes to the market and thinks about his behavior. She decides to give him another chance and returns the next day to explain the lesson. When he keeps staring at her, Mariam gets nervous and starts to sweat. He asks her if she is happy, and she continues to explain without answering until he tells her to stop pretending to be a happy teacher. This leads to an argument between them, and he pushes her against the wall and hits her. After a while, he sits next to her, apologizes, and tries to hold her hand, but she goes to the bathroom to change her shirt. When she returns, it's as if nothing happened. He notices a bruise on her face and asks her what happened, and she tells him that she fell down the stairs. The next day, he starts watching her at the pool and follows her into the changing room, where he watches her change. When she notices him, she asks him to leave before someone else comes in, but he doesn't care, grabs her, and kisses her. They enter into a relationship, and the next day she starts feeling uncomfortable because he keeps trying to force her into intimacy. Every time he tries to get close, she imagines him as the boy who died in the accident, and she sits in the sun for hours until her skin burns. He tries to put cream on her to ease the pain, and she visits a psychologist, confessing that she is cheating on her husband with someone who always hits her and uses violence against her. When she returns home, he asks her about her skin, and she tells him it's because of the sun. He continues to kiss her burned skin and enters into a relationship with her at home, where he tries to teach her how to draw. When Mariam returns, he asks her where she has been since it is a holiday. She replies that she went to see her friend, and when he asks for her friend's name, she doesn't respond in front of the child. The next day, she goes back to school, where she sees the boy waiting for her in class. However, she ignores him and goes to the pool. He follows her there, takes off his clothes, and jumps into the water. He asks her if he can't spend a day without her, while he holds her underwater for a while. Eventually, he pulls back and enters into a relationship with her. When he returns home, he cries because he sees her as a substitute for his deceased sister, who died in the car accident caused by Mariam. He apologizes for falling in love with Mariam instead of seeking revenge on her. When she returns home, she sees his old girlfriend who she cannot stand. She tries to leave, but he stops her, and they get into a fight because she is distancing herself from him. He angrily tells her that she married him only because she was pregnant, and he forced her into marriage. That's why she leaves him and goes to the boy, who takes her to her room. He continues to smoke with her and tells her that the girl who died in the accident was his sister. If Mariam had seen the flowers and pictures of his sister at school, she would have understood. He apologizes for what happened, saying that his car was parked in the middle of the street and his sister was driving too fast and crashed into it. They then go to a hotel where they spend time alone together. She enters into a relationship with him and stays with him until the next day. When she returns, he takes his things and leaves the house, and she also takes her belongings and starts living freely in a small apartment. Meanwhile, he stands in front of her house until he starts his car and drives to Mariam's apartment.